Struggling to keep your life together can be hard. Friends, family, loved ones, and work all needing attention. Sometimes that can get a little overwhelming, and Ann Grady is here with us today. She just wrote a book called The 52 Strategies for Life, Love, and Work. And also, you have some in here about workplace conflict.
Yes.
And now we have none, but what I thought was interesting when I first heard about this book and read a little bit was how much we spend of our week at work in conflict, or resolving conflict, I should say, with our coworkers.
Absolutely. You know, in over 20 years as a leadership consultant and communications consultant, I've found that the average American worker spends about 2.5 hours a week managing conflict. And that costs U.S. companies upwards of $300 billion a year in lost productivity and morale and engagement. It's astonishing.
And now, people might be surprised to hear that. That number some people would think is low, some people think it's high. What are we talking about in that? Not yelling at each other or having bosses come in and deal with it, or what?
Well, it predominantly falls in communication issues. You know, we all have blind spots, things about our behavior or personality that we see that other people don't necessarily see. So it could be, you might think you're a great communicator and others might perceive you as interrupting every time they speak. So really just being deliberate about your message.
And also we judge others on their actions, and we think it's their intent.
Exactly. If you've seen someone run a stop sign and you think, that person's a jerk, they're careless, where are the cops when you need them? Well, when you run a stop sign, it's, oh my gosh, I can't believe I was distracted. We judge other people according to what they do, and we judge ourselves by our intent, and sometimes the two don't even out.
Well, how do you deal with that? Not that our workplace ever has any conflicts, but say, what would you tell people at a TV station or any workplace like this?
Well, first of all, if enough people tell you you're tired, it's time to lay down. Ask for some feedback and be open to listening to it. Feedback is a gift. Second, you train people how to treat you. So is the message you're sending the one you're intending? Really be deliberate about how you're communicating. Third, is your goal to be right or get it right? And I think a lot of times we get lost in that, really trying to be right, when the goal is in fact to get it right. And if what you're doing is not reaching you or getting you closer to the goal, then stop doing it. And finally, if enough people tell you you're tired, lay down. Is the room better when you enter it or when you leave it? Mood matters.
Most people think it's better. But how about now, if you do have a conflict, is it better to take it to your boss or to that person?
First, it's better to try to resolve it interpersonally between you and the other person. If you need to escalate it, you certainly can, but I find that many managers feel like they're there babysitting because they're having to manage conflict that should have been handled at the interpersonal level. And
you also, this is the first book you've written, but you've been doing this for a year. How do you do research on workplace conflict?
Well,
because we think you've been lurking around here. I'm not sure. No.
I've been hiding in the green room. No, workplace conflict is, have been studied for years and years, and we know that with the advent of technology and all of the great training we've had, it doesn't change. People are people, so giving them the tools to communicate better, make sure they're sending the message they're intending, and really that they're showing up professionally at work.
And I've heard that is, it changes using computers more, emailing people.
Yes.
The impersonalization of that. Should we do more face-to-face, or does sometimes that escalate it more quickly?
I think if you can communicate face-to-face, you should. 85% of our nonverbal communication is completely lost when we communicate via email, and so the tone, everything can be misinterpreted. So if you can communicate face-to-face, that's always ideal.
Okay, and this is, again, 52 strategies for life, love, and work, and that 52 is to, I guess, 1 week at a time.
1 week at a time, subtle changes.
How much do you have in here about work?
You know, it's interesting. Everything in there I've learned from raising a mentally ill child. So the strategies for relationships, workplace, personal life, professional life, they all meld together because what makes you a person requires that you do it holistically. So I would love to give your viewers a free chapter of the book as well as a free assessment so that they can figure out their own blind spots.
So there's a website, AnnGradyGroup.com.
Yes, sir.
With Ann with an E.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. You have made the room a better place as you entered, and unlike me. Evie?